I love printing. I love printing. I love it. I love printing. Hey everybody, welcome back to another session of Printer to Printer with me, Warren Werbitt, also known as the Print Whisperer, probably known as a few other things. We won't get into that. Today we have a guest who has returned, and we have Garry Gunter from Mitchell Press out in BC. How's it going there, Garry?
It's going awesome, thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Well, you were so good the last time. I figured, how could I not have you back? So,
yeah, I used the cash really quick.
Yeah, well, you couldn't have done that much because I don't give that much. You know, it's like Walmart dollars.
No
So today I called up. Well, I didn't call today, but I called Garry back and I said, "Hey, you want to come back on the show? It's been about a year, and let's see where you're at today." So the last time you were on, I had a little more hair. You had about the same. You guys were talking about and getting ready for the installation of the Landa machine, Landa Press. What do you call it? Just the Landa?
We just call it the Landa.
The Landa.
It's easier than saying Landa Digital Nanographic Press, but it's a Landa.
The Landa. Okay, so I have to ask you, how is the Landa?
It's going fantastic. I'm going to be honest.
I want you to lie to me.
I must lie to you. Oh, it's going terrible. It's awesome. Don't buy one. It's terrible. No, it really is going really well. It's been fantastic. I'm going to be honest. There are times when I go out the back there and look at some of the stuff coming off it, and I still have to pinch myself a little that this is kind of what this press can do. It's pretty amazing. I mean, we are very lucky. We bought the 7-color version, and we do perfecting. So we don't run the 32-point stocks or boards that you can do on a non-perfector. But you know what? We use it. We leverage it with our magazine covers. We leverage it with some packaging, which is new for us, which is fantastic. And it's given us a lot more growth opportunities. So far, it's doing everything we expected it to, and a little bit more. But we'll keep that under wraps for now.
Cool. So what's the downside? What have the grievances been, or the issues, the problems?
Yeah. So the differences. I mean, I guess here's one of the challenges is that when you first put something.
By the way, it doesn't matter what equipment you have. There's always some problems when something comes in.
Of course.
Right? But this being new,
yeah,
maybe you have a few more.
So of course. I mean, so one of the things, first of all, you have to understand is that you put in this huge, big sheet-fed press, and you kind of want to treat it just like a huge, big sheet-fed press. And then you get going on it, and you suddenly realize, well, hold on a second, what are we doing? It's not a huge, big sheet-fed press. It's a huge digital sheet-fed press. And so what I would say is that, the benefits of having a small little Kodak Nexfinity came to help us, I guess, in our ramp-up time, because, even our estimating team was still trying to, put together folded pieces off the back of the Landa, not realizing that we could cut and stack off the back of the Landa, right? Because every single sheet can be different. So we had some estimating snafus where we just, treated it like a traditional sheet-fed press. We've obviously had to get used to the understanding that these are inkjet device, which means, you have to look after it a little differently. You have to make sure that you've got your maintenance times and routines set up. So that's taken a little while for us to get to understand and get nailed down. And I think that'll keep changing as we get to know the press more and more and more. Landa's made several advancements at the same time too. So, that's great. But at the same time, when you've got something new coming in, you have to then train on that new piece or get to understand the new, the new intelligence that's been added to it. So, so those are kind of the downsides, I guess, right? Getting to understand how this new technology really works, because it's like most new items you buy. If you go out and buy a new Perfect Binder, it's great, right? You get the Perfect Binder in, it's got all this wonderful new technology, and you'll hear all the buzzwords about faster make ready, faster setup, all that great stuff. But it's like your old equipment. It took you a time to get to understand and know. And so, it's not just about learning how to set it up and run something through it. It's about the actual flight time, if you want to call it that it takes to understand that piece of equipment, right? So that's important.
I got Windows 11. I haven't figured out Windows 10 yet. No, and I say that because really that is even with equipment, right? If people don't use the equipment that they had before to the maximum fullest benefits, and then you get something new with more benefits and more abilities, it can be rather, rather, what do you call it? Overwhelming.
Yeah, it is overwhelming. So So yeah, so I mean, the good thing is, we're actually just having a new drop actually added this week. So the press will be down for 2 weeks while we put in a new drop, which has just happened in Europe, and so we're very, very, very lucky to have the first one installed in North America, which gives us some new abilities and some faster make readies and faster uptimes and things like that on it too. So that's
Do you,
constantly happening.
do you only have to make half a payment if it's down for 2 weeks to change to change a part?
Well, let me think about that. Let me see what I can say to be able to
No.
get Roberto to do something different for me. Yeah. No, it's true, right? We were joking just before, and we talked about the fact that now that the I guess the honeymoon period is over, what's it like now that we've got this press in and it's meant to be making money, right? That's the important question.
Everything
And
in the
so
shop
far,
is meant to be making money. So printers that are
correct.
listening to me, raise your prices, don't lower them. I don't care what machine you're running what on. Raise the price.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so it's doing what it said it would do in the box. Landa's been a great partner to date. We've only had it installed for what, 7 months now. So I'd like to hope they're doing the right things, but they've been a great partner to date. Supported us in every which way we discussed at the beginning. So from that side of things, I'm happy. I could always be happier. It could always be running more. We could always have more business. We could always stop talking about recessions and start talking about, positivity and buying local and supporting the Canadian marketplace as opposed to our friends across the various different oceans that we
Yeah.
straddle. So that's important.
Oh, for sure. So I'm thinking just two things. One, what did the press do for the morale of the people within the company? Because you
Oh
took on
gosh,
like cutting edge technology. You
yeah.
get to pound your chest to the people like we're doing this. Did everybody embrace it? Were they happy? Were they more motivated? Anything like that?
Tons of excitement. It's kind of like in professional sports. A sports team can be kind of sucking. You put a
Hmm.
new manager in place or a new coach in, and suddenly there's that burst, right? And everybody picks it up, and we definitely saw that. Now we're maintaining it. That's the main thing, right? Keep that burst going. But yeah, everyone was super excited. It was a moment of wow, we're coming out of COVID. Um, we're looking to the future. We're investing in the future. We're not looking to divest of the future. And I think it was a bold statement, for us to make as a company that we're here to stay. We're here to move forward, and we're not here to just to sustain the norm and be in amongst everything.
Right.
Right? We're trying to drive something new.
You're also the first and only one in Canada still.
Correct.
Honestly, I would have thought one probably would have gone into the Toronto area first, just because it's, I think, the third or fourth largest metropolitan city in North
I agree.
America.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that it was you. Now, tell me about your customers. Tell me about the ones that are thrilled over the top. Do you have any that are pissed off with any runs on it? Like, I can't just
Well,
make it all great. I got to ask the
no,
hard
no,
stuff.
no, no. Well, here's the good and the bad, I guess. The good would be, because I always want to start with the good. So let's start with the good. I mean, we've got a couple of clients that are really embracing this. On the publishing side, we've got, I'm going to plug Iconic Concierge here, a guy called Olaf. He's a publisher out this way. He provides, what does he call? A gentleman's magazine for the affluent lifestyle. Olaf's a great guy, and he travels all over the show, and he's a car guy, so he's kind of a little bit of a kin to me. And what he's done is he's been able to take front covers for his magazine, Iconic Concierge, and and create variable versions, or let's say they're not variable versions because they're not everything unique, but let's call them regionalized versions and
Right.
co-branded versions. So he partners up with hotels, he partners up with car dealerships. He co-brands the front cover. He did a really cool front cover, which I think we've got a case study that's either imminent on our website or going to be coming onto our website. He's with Porsche. So Porsche had their 75th year anniversary this year. So he produced a limited edition of 100 covers for Porsche with a unique cover. So there are folks like that that are really truly embracing what
Hang
this
on a
can
second. Hang on
do.
a second. There's just sorry,
Yeah,
because I'm gonna forget. So he did 100 covers, but could you do that on an Indigo or something?
you could do it on an
Well,
Indigo.
I'm just thinking
Yeah,
the size of the machine and a
yeah.
100 covers. What was the reason or the benefit to it?
Well, first of all, I mean, the nice thing for us is that we can run four up. You can run maybe two up, right, on a
Right.
100K. No disrespect to HP,
Yeah,
awesome
no,
company.
no disrespect to
They do,
anybody.
yeah, they do great. The speed and the format size for us on the Landa make a big difference. We run ultimately it's like 4 times the speed, basically
Right.
4 times the productivity. And of course, with the 7 colors,
But
the
100 covers,
vibrancy.
I mean, how much faster can you go?
Well, here's the good thing. You're running all of these covers together, so you're running like 10,000 covers.
Okay, got it.
10,000 covers, but who cares if you got 100 in the mix of
Oh
10,000?
no, agreed. I didn't know you're running others. I thought you just went
Yeah,
off with 100. That's why
no, no, no.
I
We're
was
just
like, that's a big press for 100 covers.
yeah, no, 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 no. And so this is where the benefit is, right? So when you're running, because we've got a web, so when you're running, the cover work for the web, you're generally running longer, longer quantities, higher quantities. That's when the variable side of the covers come into play. We've also so that's the good side. I'll leave it there for now. And then of course there's advertising opportunities that can go on the inside front cover, outside back cover, and inside back cover, of course, as well. So for publishers, we're offering something pretty unique in that method, right? And I guess once again, because of the productivity and because of the scale, we can offer something a bit different. And 7 colors. I'll leave that there. The bad side is this is nanography, so it's different. So yes, you still get someone looking at their front cover and going, because they know it's different, looking at their front cover and going, wow. Well, when I look under a loop and it looks a little spotty and you go, oh, okay, interesting. So when you look under a loop, when is the last time you looked under a loop at your front cover? Oh, well, we don't really do that. Oh, okay. But because it's new, you look under a loop and you see it's got a different kind of rosette. And so still, got some folks that'll nitpick some of the stuff. And so that becomes a bit of a challenge sometimes. So that is one of our challenges, right? Sometimes, you put yourself
Educating.
out there. Yeah. And you say, hey, we got something new, and someone will find something that's not the same as what they had before. And so it's educating. It's about, how to best prepare your files, how best to leverage the nanographic technology, right? Which is important. And so some of that is a pain in the ass, if I'm
Yeah,
honest with
the new is so right, because it doesn't
you.
matter about print or anything. New is new, and then there's so many people when you show them something new, they're like, "Yeah, but." Well, there's no buts, buddy, or whoever. It's new.
And then just realizing that, some folks won't like it, I guess, right?
Well,
But this is what it is.
some folks are just cranky, crotchety, and never happy.
Yeah.
So
It's like people looking at indigo, right? They'll look at an indigo product and say, well, it scratches. Okay. Does it look great? Does it do what you wanted it to do? Yeah. Okay. So, and I guess if you're happy with it and it makes a difference for you,
yeah,
that's the important
well, you
part,
know what?
right?
I kind of chuckle, because the truth is, in our business, all the digital equipment, all the offset equipment, it's all pretty good at this point,
Hmm.
right? It's about finding what works within the elements that you like, be it the company, the staff, the technology, the service, the consumables. Everyone finds their own thing, but it is all pretty good today,
It is.
which is
And let's be honest, that's the reason why we've got such a strong supplier base, right? Because you do have that ability where you can. It's just that it's what you're comfortable with technology wise, right? You look at inkjet today, and Ricoh and Canon have some beautiful products out there too. And sometimes it's very hard to discern which one you want to go with. It's kind of what works for you and what you're really comfortable with, because
and
certain
your
parts of the
relationship.
US, relationship is why you make those
I mean,
final
I used to
decisions, I
hate you
believe.
buy something and then the guy or girl you dealt with then leaves the company.
Terrible.
Wait, no, then
Yeah.
they call you from where they are to tell you where they are. It's how great it is. And I'm like, what I just bought not so great because you moved companies? And then they don't even realize what they just said,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The fallibility of sales, right? So,
Yeah.
so
So
what was
you
your
just,
second question? So what was the first question? Did we
huh?
get a boost from did we get a boost from it internally? Yes, we did. It was fantastic. Everybody really, they, drank the so-called Kool-Aid, and they've loved it. And yes, we did. We got a beautiful family boost from it.
And they
What was the
proudly
second
know
part?
that you're the first shop in Canada to have it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a badge of honor.
Cool, cool. Love that. I always love doing things the first. If for nothing else, you just get the runway for the marketing and the good feel
You get
before
to
some
set the
other.
bar, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, before some other competitor comes on and kills it for you because they think they need to lower the price to compete, rather than know that there's enough work for everybody to keep the price.
It's starting to happen again, man.
Yeah, you know what? So I wasn't going to talk about that, but you brought it up, but I'll go to my next thing after that. So yeah, so what is wrong, do you think, with everybody with price dropping? Have they not learnt that if you stick to your price and you do whatever you're doing, you'll still have that money in the place, as opposed to dropping your price, having to work harder, make mistakes. I used to make mistakes every time we dropped the price. That was my karma for going where I shouldn't have gone,
True.
and not
Yeah.
just do the job over once, but usually do it
Yeah.
over twice. And the customer would be like, no, 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 no. I'm going to make you do it until you get it right. You know, like, go somewhere else. They're like, no, but it was always the curse of dropping a price. Why are people doing that?
I can only think of short memory span. I guess I don't know why. I don't get it.
I could tell you
Um,
why.
I
Idiots,
think some, yeah. Well, I think some
idiots,
folks have.
morons. We no, and I don't say that disrespectfully, but we're in business to make money,
Yeah,
right?
shouldn't be embarrassed by it.
When you drop your price, the customer writes it down. You can't bring it back up again.
Well, it's a cycle too. Let's look at what's going on. We want to pay people more, which means we have to make more. If we want to keep our people happy, there has to be a living wage that we can endorse. And if we can't do that, then I honestly think it's a little bit of the first world curse. We get to the point where we start subbing all this stuff out offshore again, and we don't invest in our local marketplace. And I'd rather pay a little bit more to have something here than. But it's the Walmart
But that's
syndrome, right?
that. Listen, Sam Walton created China for Walmart. Walmart. I mean, at one point, Walmart became China's. I'm going to make it up, but I think I once heard seventh largest trading partner.
Mm.
So everyone who goes to Walmart, in essence, is killing us all, right? Because if the
Yeah.
lowest price is the law and everything's the lowest price, then how does anyone make money? Because then, according to some of the retailers some of the manufacturers that sell to Walmarts, they get hosed and squeezed and pinched as well. Some of them, where it's like just a squeeze game along. How do
But
we?
it's like this through all the grocers, right? I mean, to a certain degree. I mean, that's the part I think that makes it more difficult. It's a supply chain situation that, everyone's getting a payback along the way. And the guys that are manufacturing, they all want to get into the Costco's. They all want to get into the Walmarts. But then when they get in there and they realize, well, hold on a second, my margin's gone. And now I'm just supplying, right? And now I have to be the cheapest. And so I have to manufacture the cheapest. And so it just drives everything down. It drives the value down of everything, not just for what we do, but for
No, I'm
everything we
saying
do.
everything. Listen, I
It's
mean,
terrible.
you just invested millions of dollars. Everybody else is investing all kinds of money in equipment, and if you can't get the hourly rate, listen, on any offset press, you have two guys. Let's go with an average of $30 an hour each,
Yeah.
plus the fringe benefits to the company. You got the space, the time, all the cost. You should really technically be charging on a 40-inch press $500 to $600 an hour for the $3.5 million investment. But that's not what's happening. People are saying, well, I'm going to work 3 shifts this many hours, and they're finding a reason to justify the 375 an hour. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know where you're
When
going.
it
Yeah.
should be 500 all the time.
Yeah.
Bloody lawyer gets 700 an hour. When I started with him, it was 250 an hour. He's at the same wooden desk looking out the same window and does nothing with the same phone. You got two guys, insurance, medical, and everything, or everybody, and we can't get the money because customers are insisting on the push down.
Yeah.
But then how
It,
are we supposed to do good for the customers with innovation, new technology if that happens?
well, you can't. I mean, and so this is what you'll see. You'll see another flood of people exiting the marketplace because, um, they can't afford to reinvest. And so that is the key. If you can't make enough money, you can't reinvest and you can't grow your business.
Yeah, I think everyone got excited. COVID at the beginning, things came to a halt. Printers stayed open. They went into the PPE movement. Then shortage. Everyone raised their prices, and now we're a year and some later. And
Hmm.
my, how the human brain forgets
Yes.
what was and what they were saying. Imagine everybody. Don't drop your prices. Work a few hours less, but still make more money.
Wouldn't that be novel?
Well, there's a company in Toronto, Strategic Coach House.
Hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard of them.
No.
It was a guy, Dan Sullivan. I learned about them like 30 years ago when I was doing entrepreneur organization. They're still around. They teach executives how to work harder, work smarter, make more money, and work less time. And it's proven. You should actually look it up. But
Hmm.
But the rest of the world is like, I think we just like to spin our wheels and do things over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And the funny
Yeah.
thing is, everybody knows don't drop the price. Yet somebody goes and starts it.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
So we've been trying to focus on, number one, we know generally we are more expensive than most folks when we're
You
in
have
the
a
room.
Landa, you have
And
to be.
yeah, and you know what? We offer something
Not a
unique
bad
and
thing.
something different. And so, we want to make sure we work with folks that understand the value of their business too, and how we can add more value to their business.
By the way,
And so that's what we're trying to do.
what you just
Yeah.
said is key. And every salesperson needs to know that. When you go to see people, it is about us, but it's not about us. It's really about your client, how they fare. Because if they fare well, if we could provide them with solutions to add more value, more profit, more of everything to their own, they'll continue to work with us.
Oh, totally.
Right. And that's what they want. They want to do more business. They don't want to, they don't want to deal with us just because we're dropping the price 3 cents.
Totally. And we want to help people move along. So, we also appreciate, and I've said this to our team too, we appreciate that sometimes we might just be in this phase of their history. And then at some point we say, well, now you probably need to move on somewhere else. And, on the packaging side, we don't want to do the crazy long packaging runs that, someone would put into a Walmart or a Costco. I want to help people grow and then send them on.
Yeah. And
That's important.
You talk about packaging. So I laugh with our print world of getting into packaging, because everybody, oh yeah, press and board. Well, you got to know about the board. You got to know about the grain. You got to know where it comes from. You got to know what happens if the glue flops off. If the flap flies open when it's on a shelf, you're getting the whole order back and the cost of the goods that are in it.
Yep.
Right? You talk about the long runs. Well, the big guys that have been in packaging a long time, they're not only running them, they're inventorying them and shipping and billing when they go. So for printers going into packaging, and that could be another episode, you better think long and hard about what you want and how you want to go about it, because it's
there's a lot more to it than just printing board stocks.
Yeah, well, you're part of someone's company now. It's not just the marketing material or a hang tag. Anyways, we'll leave that. So the last thing that I wanted to bring up, which I think is pretty exciting because I have been there, but Mitchell Press dropped the press. Tell me about the rebranding.
So it's been something that's been ongoing within our organization for quite some time. I think I'm coming up for 3 years in the beginning of next year, and it's been on the cards from the first month I was here, in different iterations and formations and things like that. And so it's now become Mitchell. We are known as Mitchell. People talk about us as Mitchell. And no one ever really uses Mitchell Press Limited, spelled limited, not LTD, by the way,
right?
Which is another misnomer that everyone always makes as well. But yeah, we are not just Mitchell Press. We offer so much more than just the press side of things, the printing side of things. We are a visual communications provider, right? We provide solutions in that market space, and print is some of it, but it certainly isn't all of it. We offer renderings, we offer micro data analysis. We offer website building and creation, and then we drive and tailor all of that together. So, we worked really well with a company called Cheviot that, once again, as a partner, we changed their business for them. We helped them to remove a lot of their supply chain issues. We moved up their go-to-market strategy, all by taking product that they used to, bring over from Italy and then photograph and make a catalog of. We now take all of their wireframes, make renderings for them, create a much more robust catalog, and they don't have the cash flow problems they have. They don't have the time to market issues they have from bringing stuff over from Italy. Selfishly, we print more catalogs, but they sell more product.
Listen,
hey, that's what it's about.
They don't care that you're printing more. They just know that they're selling more.
Yes, and they're in more places. So for us, that's kind of what it's about. So it's less about the press and more about, hey, we're Mitchell.
No, I think that's great. And I think this is where some of the younger salespeople coming up in our world will have a better time because of all the different, things that you get to offer to the customer, the solutions. Because the legacy salespeople, they can't. Not to disrespect them, but they can't do two things at once. So talking and looking at their phone is a problem, let alone coming up with another idea. And yes, I am taking a shot at them because I think some of them need to retire.
I think some of the legacy brokers out there are potentially some of the challenge that we have.
Do you deal with a lot of brokers?
No, we try not
Okay,
to. I mean,
good.
we have a trade portion of our business, so we do some broker work, but we are very, very selective in the brokers that we work with.
Well, you
Once
have.
again, because we want to offer value, we don't want to offer
Well, it's
price.
not
That's
a.
not what we're about.
It's not only that. You have the only Landa press, right? I remember when I had the only 56-inch movie press, and a broker would call me, and I'd give him the price, and he'd say to me, "Oh no, that's ridiculous," and I'll call someone else. I'm like, "Okay, call Toronto." And by the way, I could do it next Tuesday. Oh, I need it quicker. Okay. Anyways, 2 hours later, the phone rings. The guy's calling back. Yeah, okay. You know what? I'll take your price because I need it. I go, well, now you got a problem. Now you got to wait a week. I
You
said,
missed the slot.
you skipped it. I said, I have the only one. So it fills up quick. I didn't fill up, but I didn't want to do his work. I just want to teach him a lesson. Make him wait.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
because they all, if you're not, I always felt that if someone's not making the investment in the equipment, they don't have the right to tell me, unless it's the customer, they don't have the right to tell me what to do and how to do it.
No, I'm with you as well.
If you're so
You know,
smart,
you
buy your own equipment.
yeah, you invest in a lot of time and effort, and the space, the heat, the lights, the people, right?
Everything.
And then of course you got the equipment. I mean, we joke about the fact that nothing costs over $1 million these days, right? You're looking at a new stitcher or a new binder or a new piece of equipment for the bindery or the press room. In our world, everything's based off the web size. It's $1 million. Just pencil in $1 million. That's what it's going to cost, right? And so,
Horrible
how do you
number.
keep reinvesting? Yeah, it's a silly number.
Well, no, listen, I remember when I used to buy 40-inch presses. They were 1/8, 2/2, 2/5, 2/4. 40-inch press loaded now is $4 million. Right? Anyways, I'm happy I'm not buying another one, but I still like to walk on them.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, no, this was a good catch up. Anything to anybody before I cut you off?
Oh God, please keep your prices up. Don't drop your pants. Keep your prices up. We can become a strong industry again if we just, stick to the agenda. We provide a valuable service, I would say invaluable to most. And we're everywhere. Everywhere you go, you need printed product.
Oh my God.
And it'll be in some way, shape, or form. And whether we have some sort of recession or not doesn't make a difference. It'll still be around. It'll still come out the back of it. And it's proven. We see it all the time. I think you've done a couple of great exposés too on how print still has a great ROI. I mean, it's
It
there.
changes. It changes, but it doesn't go away.
No,
Right?
and that's the perfect thing about our company. This is why I love our industry. It changes, so you have to keep learning something new. It drives you into that. What's coming next? How do I keep growing? So I love the growth that it offers, right? But at the same time, it's a fantastic industry to be in.
And people, if you're listening, tell people, look around you. Everything is printed. Your pen is printed, the tape is printed, the box is printed. You got to print on your computer monitor, the instructions beside you. The bank sent me something. There's a lot of printing, whatever the bank sends. Lawyers print like crazy, even though it's you don't like what's in it, but their logo's on the sheet. No, it's everywhere, right? It's like every time someone says to me, "Print's dead," I almost have to control myself without lunging to strangle them because I think they're stupid because they don't even know what they're looking at. And then I say, "Hey, you wake up in the morning and look over at your night table. All your books are printed. Go in the bathroom. Your medication's printed. Your toothpaste is printed. Your shower thing is printed. The shampoo. You haven't even had breakfast yet because the bag is printed. The cereal box." And then the guy's like, "Okay, just shut up already." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, enough. Yeah, but it's so true. I mean, there's so much print, and it comes in all ways, shapes, and forms, and it's around. It's here to stay, right? So don't undervalue it. Make sure that it's that you're leveraging the value every day, and there's lots of room for us all to play.
Oh my God! For like everything else, you know what? I think I'm going to get a few owners together on a call, and let's talk about the price in a bigger way. See if everyone's on the same page.
Happy to join. Yeah.
That'd be great. Anyways, thank you so much for coming back again. The update's been great. Good to know things are going real. You're on the move. You're making changes. Love the rebranding. Most companies out there should probably think about rebranding because it's probably a little old and stale. But you could look on your own and decide. Everybody else, I always appreciate you tuning in, signing in, listening, comments, notes. If anyone wants to talk about anything, just reach out to me. Otherwise, have a great day. Warren Werbitt, what they think, and I love print.